We are the UNSW Faculty of Engineering, where world-changing action starts with fearless thinking. The university is really a powerhouse of innovation in a number of different respects.
The way we teach, we have a huge array of industry projects. We have many spin-out companies from both staff and students, and a huge array of cutting-edge research.
Engineering is one of the disciplines that can change the world. Engineers make things that have tangible impact to the environment and to the society.
We sometimes think in different ways to other people, and it's that constant change mindset that we have as engineers. It is constantly looking at something over there and saying, God, but what if we did this?
As engineers, we have very complex challenges to solve for society, and the only way we can come up with appropriate solutions is if we really do consider all people within our society.
Diverse minds, diverse groups, diverse people are what gives us different approaches to problem solving. And I think some of the best solutions that we get come from different perspectives on the problem.
Creativity and imagination, I think, is at the heart of the research that we do. What we can expect in 100 years is new areas of investigation and new areas of technology that just don't exist yet. One of the most exciting things is that in a matter of just a few years, we could be working on things that we don't even know anything about right now.
To our students, when we teach, we actually get them thinking about sustainability throughout all of their courses, so that from the get-go, they're actually considering, how do we do this more sustainably?
Finding new renewable sources of energy, renewable sources of material, making use of waste material, and also looking at the impact on the environment of a lot of the processes that we have.
So our engineers take the theory and put them into practice. We're able to develop the solutions that we need in order to have a sustainable future.
At UNSW Engineering, we don't just talk about it. We actually get students hands-on and doing it.
I wake up every morning just proud to see the development of these students, seeing them standing proud, talking about what they're doing with such confidence is just incredible.
Innovation is really our lifeblood. We're almost not doing engineering unless we're innovating.
Our work touches lives, communities, and the planet. It's a huge responsibility, but also a huge opportunity. We get to think big, aim high, and create a better, smarter world. That's the power of engineering. It's not just a job, it's a mission to drive us all forward.
All right. Welcome, everybody. All right, thanks. You guys are amazing. That's really good. All right, look, welcome to UNSW, and in particular, welcome to UNSW Engineering. It's great to see you all. The weather wasn't so great when I came in. It was raining a little bit, so it's great to see that you've all made the effort to be here. I'm just going to start with, this is me. I'm the Deputy Dean for Education, which basically means I look after the education strategy for the faculty. But I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the Bidjigal people in particular, who are the traditional custodians of the land on which this campus sits, and to acknowledge their elders past, present and emerging. The slide will also tell you about some of the other Indigenous lands on which we have various campuses and so on. Okay, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what we're going to do in the next hour, we're going to do this welcome right now, which is what we'll do for this hour. After this welcome, we'll get you outside. There'll be student ambassadors that take you to your respective school welcomes. And then there's an afternoon tea. Okay, before we do that, let's see which schools you're all from. So who's here from biomedical engineering? Okay, good. How about chemical engineering? Excellent. Let's see what's next. I know I'm going to miss a school here. Civil engineering. Okay, great. Computer science and engineering. Okay, good. Okay, mechanical and manufacturing engineering. Yeah, good. Let's see, minerals and energy resources engineering. All right. Electrical engineering, telecommunications. Yeah, no, photovoltaics and renewable energy engineering. That's got me to 8, so that's good. What about flexible first years? Who's in flexible first year? There should be a good bunch of you too. Okay, great. Hopefully you've had an opportunity to talk to the person next to you. I'll come back a little bit to this in a moment, but one thing to understand in engineering is that it's a big family, it's a community, and it's important that you look out for one another. But I'll come back to that in a moment. All right, who's going to speak today? Well, you've got me for a little bit, then a couple of my colleagues and some of our amazing students. So John will be here in a moment. He's a manager for student experience and employability. We've got 2 of our amazing students, Sai and Alex, here with us. We have Julene, who's the program manager for women engineering. Tyson, who's our senior program officer for Indigenous engagement. Kesh from our work integrated learning team, and Phoebe from ARC. So you've got quite a number of people, and there's a fair bit to get through, so let's keep going. Firstly, as I said, congratulations on having made it to UNSW Engineering. This year it was, I would say, particularly difficult to get in. The ATARs went up, mainly due to the popularity of the program. I'm not going to go through the individual rankings, but as you can imagine, UNSW Engineering is certainly Australia's premier engineering faculty, the largest faculty of engineering in Australia, and it's quite prominent internationally as well. Perhaps to just put this slightly into perspective, each year UNSW would graduate about 15% of all of Australia's engineers, and when it comes to New South Wales, that figure goes up to 40%. So you're here with the best, so as I said, congratulations. I think being here with the best means that you also have a great experience because you're here with so many talented other students. I'm always amazed at what our students manage to do, and you'll hear a bit more about some of those achievements in a short while. The other bit of good news is that in terms of employment, your prospects are looking really good. So this 21% projected growth over the next 10 years comes from Jobs and Skills Australia, which is in one of the federal government agencies. And they do a lot of tracking of job demand, workforce trends and so on for Australia. Some of those positions here, you'll see a list. I'm not going to go through them all, but you can see construction managers, ICT managers, mining engineers, and a whole bunch of other areas where there's a forecast demand in the next couple of years. Now, while you're here doing all of your studies, one of the things I would suggest that you do is have a look at all the other activities that go on in engineering and in the university itself. There are lots of events. Most days have a whole bunch of different events on. If you get an opportunity, have a look at some of the labs, some of the projects that are going on. John's going to talk a little bit about our vertically integrated projects, which I think is another one of our great initiatives along with a whole bunch of other things that we do here at UNSW Engineering. Just briefly, if you want a bit of a sort of high-level overview of your degree over the next couple of years, in first year, you basically have all your introductory units, so you'll be doing a lot of math, physics, programming, computing, perhaps chemistry for some of you, and some of your core courses in your discipline. There's also a first year design course, DESIM 1000, that all of you will need to do at some point. In second year, you start specialising a little bit more. You have more of the introductory sort of courses in your specialisation, and more of those core courses that you need to complete for your discipline. And from third year onwards, you've got more electives, and there'll be research projects that you need to do. Industrial training's another thing that you need to do, which Kesh will take us through in a moment. Now, in terms of the 3-term calendar, a full load of courses would be 8 courses in a year, and of course you guys are all good at math, and 3 doesn't really divide evenly into 8, so that gives you a whole bunch of options, right? So here might be one option where you do 3 courses in term 1 and term 3, 2 courses in term 2. You could do 3 courses in each of the 3 terms and sort of accelerate your progression. You could do less and just go through a little bit slower. There's a lot of options in terms of trying to get through. And in a moment, if you need a little bit of advice, I'll have a slide which tells you where you can get that advice. Along with this, you could do things like exchange. You can do, as I said, those of you in a Bachelor of Engineering program, an honours program, will need to do industrial training. And we'll tell you a little bit more about how you do that. There's capstone courses where you apply the work that you do. There's a lot of experiential learning opportunities. A lot of you might know that UNSW has decided to go to a 2-semester calendar from 2028. I wouldn't worry too much about that at this point, but just alerting you that from 2028 we'll have 2 semesters rather than the 3 terms. We're in the middle of trying to figure out how that will work, to be honest. But before we get to 2028, you'll have tons of information on how you're going to progress when you switch from 3 terms to 2 semesters. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. If you do want more info, there's that QR code there that you can scan. So just in terms of our graduates, we like to think that our graduates are quite flexible and multi-skilled. So even though you may study engineering, you may find that you get employed eventually in another area. But wherever you do, whether it's in engineering or otherwise, we like to have a fairly multi-skilled curriculum. So for one thing, you're going to be studying courses from other faculties. You'll have flexibility through either doing majors or minors. There's a lot of choice as well. As it says here, there's 29 undergraduate degrees just in the Faculty of Engineering alone. And there are dual degrees. So some of you may already be enrolled in a dual degree. If you're not and you're interested, again, probably go to the nucleus and they can help you figure out how you could transition to a dual degree. There probably aren't too many postgraduate students here because we have a separate welcome this afternoon. But if there are any, again, even in the master's space, there's quite a number of different specializations. In terms of graduate outcomes, our students tend to be up the top when it comes to employability. The federal government does an annual survey. In the most recent one, 89% of our graduates found full employment within the first 3 months. Now, you've got to put that in the context that some students will travel after their degrees, some students might go on and do additional study, be it masters or whatever, so you'll never get 100% employability, but 89% is quite high. Among the GO8, it's at the top. And other good news, the median starting salary also very high for engineers, UNSW engineering students. I'm not going to talk a lot about, there's a lot of support at UNSW, so that's the first thing to understand. If you need help with something, and the next slide after this one will also have a few things that you can consider. But if you do need help at any time, just realise that there's a lot of help here, a lot of support. Just ask, and we can point you to somewhere. But for those of you that feel you might need some English language support, scan this QR code, or again, go to the nucleus. There is special support for English language, so just alerting you to that. For other types of support, this is generally what I would say here. Firstly, if you need help at your course level, something to do with, say, the assessments, the exams or whatever, typically you would go and approach the lecturer or one of the tutors or demonstrators to get a bit of help with the specifics of your course. If you need more general help, then there's a whole bunch of places that you can go to. I'm not going to go through all of these, but just firstly, the general student services, anything to do with your enrolment, your degree program and so on, go to the nucleus. You can do that in person, online, on the telephone, however you like. There's a health service, there's a psychology and wellness service, there's study skills, there's gendered violence support. So there's a whole bunch of support here if you need it. You might take down, either scan this QR code or take down the campus security number there. you never know when you might use it. And at this point, I usually tell people this story about one time when I'd first joined UNSW, and I was walking to my car in the car park, and I passed the skip bin, and from a distance I could see some smoke coming out of the skip bin, and by the time I got to the skip bin, there was a full fire on there, and I just rang campus security. Within 2 minutes there was someone there, and they called the fire brigade. So someone had been smoking and just thrown their cigarette in there. But all I'm saying is they respond quite quickly. In my experience, they're really good and they can respond quite quickly. You never know when you might need this number. I'm just going to end off by coming back to a point that I made earlier, which is, firstly, try and have fun while you're here. Studies are quite serious. It's going to be quite intense at certain times. You're going to feel a lot of stress and pressure from time to time. But try and have fun. If you do need help, reach out for help. There's a lot of help, as I said. And moreover, look after one another. As I said, we'd like to think of ourselves as a big family, big community, and that means we look out for one another. If you've got friends that you feel are in trouble, reach out and we can make sure that they're helped. So with that, as I said, enjoy your studies. I'm going to hand over to John, our Student Experience and Employability Manager.
Okay, hi everyone. I just want to pass on my congratulations as well. As Maury said, you've done an incredible job just making it into UNSW Engineering. So really enjoy the fact that you have made it here, and relish every moment of the next 3, 4 or 5 years that you're going to be with us. So I look after student experience and employability, and a lot of that means we get to do a lot of the fun stuff. So we're making sure that your experience here at engineering is a fun one. You get to build really great communities. You find really great friendships that will last your time here at university, but hopefully much longer into your future careers. But at the same time, a lot of those experiences where you are building those friendships are the same experiences where you're going to develop amazing capabilities and skill sets that industry are really looking for. And as a faculty, we're really committed to developing you as much as we possibly can, not through just our education and the degrees, but the experiences that you have, that you graduate as a real life, ready-to-go engineer at the moment you leave our doors. One of the first things I want you to think about is our makerspaces. We have a big network of makerspaces on campus. These makerspaces are where you get to build, design, play, and create. We have loads of equipment for you to engage with, CNC machines, 3D printers, lathes, whatever it might be. In here, you get to literally create whatever you want. So if you've got anything you want to invent, a design idea, go into these makerspaces. You'll have a team of technical support officers and engineers that can help turn your ideas and creations into real life. But we also use these makerspaces to support our teaching as well. So for some of the courses that you're going to be entering into, particularly in the first year, you will be relying on the makerspaces for those. So you need to get into the makerspaces and do your induction to that, because you have to get a qualified badge to use the makerspaces. There's a lot of you, so I'd encourage you to get onto the website and book in your slot as soon as possible so that you're ready for when those courses come around. One of the main things my team delivers is the Challenge Program. And the Challenge Program is our suite of experiential learning opportunities. And this is really where you get to put into practice all the stuff that you're learning in your degrees into actual practice on real life projects, often working with leading academics, but also with some of our industry partners as well. And I'm going to talk you through just some of those opportunities now. Vertically integrated projects is one that Maury's already mentioned, and it's one that the faculty is incredibly proud of, and one that we're really trying to push as much as possible. We're the only university in Australia that offers vertically integrated projects, so it's a unique program to UNSW Engineering. This is where you get to work on multidisciplinary projects over multiple years, often with industry partners, but also with leading research academics within the Faculty of Engineering. You get to join these projects from year 2 if you're interested. We have over 20 active projects at the moment and up to about 500 students entering VIP this year alone. And these projects are covering all sorts of stuff. Some of you may have heard of our SunSwift race car, but we also have teams building artificial hearts. We have teams looking at cleaning up the water areas around Sydney, such as biological remediation. all sorts of stuff. And no matter what area of engineering you're entering into, there will be a team and a project that aligns with your interests. These projects are for credit, so you don't have to do it voluntarily. You work on these teams, you get contributions to your actual degree. And as I say, you're working with real-life academics and industry partners on projects that are not made up, they're not constructed in a degree sense, they're actual real-life projects with real-life deliverables. Many of our students that enter these projects get handpicked for graduate recruitment opportunities very early on in their degree. So it is competitive to get into these projects, but I'd recommend when you have an opportunity, go on the Challenge website, look at VIP and start thinking about which teams you might be interested in so that you're ready to apply from year 2 onwards. Secondly, we have student projects. In some ways, they're quite similar to VIP in the sense that they're large-scale projects that you get to work on, but these are primarily student-led. They're voluntary, so you can go any time that you want to make your contribution. But they also do some really amazing things. We have a BlueSat group that are looking at satellites. We have a Formula SAE race car that is being built. They're currently shifting to a hybrid model this year. So there's all sorts of stuff you can get involved with in student projects. So if you didn't want to commit to the curriculum-based VIP, there's some flexibility in the student projects where you can kind of commit your own time to those. Thirdly, we have humanitarian engineering. Now, I'm sure all of you want to do good in the world. We hope you do. It's a massive focus of our university, and particularly engineering, that we use our skill sets and our capabilities to make a really positive impact in the world. Humanitarian engineering in particular is looking at how we can use engineering to help improve the lives of people living in disadvantaged communities, both here in Australia, but also internationally. There are various projects associated with humanitarian engineering, but there's also a minor that you can choose as well. So when planning your degree out, have a look at humanitarian engineering and see if you want to fit that into your degree, and make sure you save some space for that if it is something that you're interested in. And finally, we also have Taste of Research. Obviously, you're all entering a coursework-based degree, which is a particular type of learning. Research is completely different. The way that you approach problems, the way that you interpret information, and the way that you then apply that is very different in a research environment, and it's quite a unique skill set. If you're interested in research, or you're not quite sure whether that's a path that you want to pursue, Taste of Research is a good opportunity for you to get some experience and work on a real-life research project with some leading research teams here in the faculty. And while you're taking part in Taste of Research, you will be provided with a $6,000 stipend to participate in that. So bear that in mind if research is a plan that you potentially might want to follow in the future. That's it for me for now, but I do encourage you to look at all the opportunities available to you. There's so much you can get involved with. At the same time, don't rush into anything. Take your time. You've so much that you could, get involved with. Don't get overwhelmed by it all. Concentrate on your degree, concentrate on what you're interested in, and then start planning out other aspects of your experience that you might want to get involved with that will kind of make your experience overall an incredibly valuable one over the next 4 or 5 years. Now I'm going to hand over to two of our amazing students who lead two of our largest student societies. So Sai and Alex from WeSoc and EngSoc.
Hey everyone, my name is Alex, a third-year electrical engineering and comp-sci student and the president of the Engineering Society, or EngSoc. When I first came to uni, people always used to say that it's like a little fish got dropped in a big pond. You go from high school being the biggest fish in a small pond, and now you're starting over, put straight into a lecture hall with a bunch of strangers. Put your hand up if you're a bit unsure for the start of uni or about your degree. Same here. For me, it was daunting. I had never seen so many people in one room together on that first day, and the amount of options for degrees, courses, and societies was overwhelming. Some of you are feeling the same way, worried about meeting new people, about how hard your first uni course will be, or how you'll make friends. And honestly, it's scary and exciting all at the same time. So what from here? For me, it was a friend telling me to go try out this NSHOC first year camp with him. Who would have thought that soon I would be singing Coldplay at the top of my lungs on the bus with a stranger I had just met? That one stranger would take a chance on my awful singing and introduce me to his group of friends in NSHOC. And soon, those solo study days in law library turned into groups help sessions on the Comp 1511 labs. It became my basketball team, the group where random Malatang runs, late night yaps at ICC, and the essential Melbourne Society trip were all possible because together with these new friends in NSHOC, I got to run games nights, sports competitions with other societies, parties like our annual balls and cruises, and our camp that's coming up in week 2 of this term. I also had the opportunity to develop myself professionally through our industry workshops and networking nights with many of the top engineering companies in Australia. And the beautiful thing was about all of these events is that there was something for everyone that you could find at no other place in your life. Looking back, I couldn't be more thankful for those in NSHOC that welcomed me with open arms. My hope is that to all of you, whether you join NSHOC or you just come to one of our events, that you get to experience that same community that I did. Our events and applications are posted frequently on our social media accounts, so if you're interested, give us a follow. We're more than happy to answer any question or guide you if you ever need help. So to anyone in this room wondering how to navigate uni and its social life, put your foot forward and join a society. Regardless of if it's NSHOC, WeSOC, or any of the other 20 engineering societies, we're all just a big group of friends with a mission to help you make the most out of your uni experience. So welcome and embrace it all. Each embarrassing interaction, each random society event, make those unexpected and random memories with strangers, because that stranger might just turn into a friend that makes you feel not so little in a big crowd of people anymore. Thank you.
Honestly, Alex, that was very, very inspiring. I was also very inspired. I should have maybe gone through this script before I started speaking because I see a lot of overlap. But hello, everyone. I am Sayasha, and I'm a third-year renewable energy engineering student. I'm currently WeSOC's Women in Engineering, or known as WeSOC's president. So first of all, once again, welcome to UNSW Engineering. I think everyone here should give yourself a round of applause for being here today. Come on, guys. Okay, yeah, thank you. So take a moment to look around you, and this is the beginning of something pretty incredible. And trust me, 3 years down the road, I definitely agree. Even if right now it feels mostly like you're trying to figure out where your next class is, and why campus maps are somehow harder to read than engineering equations. But when I first arrived at UNSW, I was a clueless international student dealing with a full-on housing crisis while also trying to mentally prepare for my engineering classes. So yes, character building started very, very early on. But I remember walking into O Week feeling equal parts terrified and excited. But if I'm being completely honest with you guys, my main goal was collecting as many freebies as possible. Tote bags, pens, snacks, while enthusiastically trying to network, which mostly meant just yapping with anyone and everyone I could find. And that's when I stumbled across WeSOC. I signed up a few weeks later as a subcommittee member, not knowing what I was getting into, but trust me, it was one of the best decisions I've made at university. Because here's something no one really tells you. In engineering classes, it can actually be hard to make friends. You sit in massive lecture halls like these ones, or a timetable changes every term, and just when you recognize someone, they disappear into another course forever. But societies, that's where you find your people. Through societies, I built friendships that went far beyond campus. We've gone on road trips, hikes, late-night food run before exams, the kind of friendships that make university unforgettable. I'm not that lost international student anymore. I found confidence, and I can definitely say I found a home away from home. And that is exactly what student societies can offer you. University is not just about surviving assignments and decoding what lecturer means to say when they say this is accessible but not examinable. But trust me, it's also a place where you can grow as a person. Societies give you the permission to take a break when engineering gets a little intense. And trust me, it will. You'll find social events like camps coming up, speed friending, chill hangouts, and moments where you can just breathe. But it's not just about the fun and games. We've also got opportunities like industry nights, places where you meet people who might hire you one day. You find classmates who become study partners or emotional support during projects. And if you decide to get involved behind the scenes, you'll also gain those leadership experiences, critical thinking, event management skills, and these are the kind of things that you'd want for yourself. There is truly something for everyone, exactly like what Alex said, and whether you want a community, professional growth, fun, leadership, or just free pizza, no judgment guys, you will find a society that fits you. So my biggest take would be, do not just go to classes and go home, say yes to things, sign up for that society, attend the event even if you feel awkward, talk to new people. Remember, everyone here is just figuring things out just like you and just like I still am. So before I wrap up, yes, I would absolutely love for you to check WeSoc out and follow us, sign up. But again, sign up and I want you to explore with any society that works for you because UNSW has a lot to offer. So get involved, find your people, create your community, and one day you might be the next one standing up here. Because when I first came here 2 years ago, I saw Nithya, the previous WeSoc president, I was like, it'll be cool to be like that someday. And I think it's a very beautiful full circle moment. So welcome again to UNSW Engineering. You are going to do amazing things. Thank you. I think before we proceed, we're going to get a group selfie. So Julian, you can come and join us as well. Yeah, a group selfie. We were asked to get a group selfie. Yeah.
It's like a yearly tradition we do. All right, everyone pose for the camera.
Sure. Go. Guys, everyone smile. Okay.
Everyone say cheese. All right, let's have a go, everyone.
Next, I would like to welcome Julian, who's Program Manager at Student Gender Equity. Welcome, Julian.
Hi everyone. Tough act to follow that one, so I'll be quick, but it's really nice to see some new and familiar faces. My role is all about helping you have an equitable experience and really kind of preparing you for the engineering sector and understanding why diverse perspectives and gender equity are actually quite important for all of us. And so one of the things that I look after is the Women in Engineering program, which is a community for women, non-binary and gender diverse people who are studying engineering. And as part of this program, there are great opportunities to connect with your fellow peers. So a lot of you have just come from the Women in Engineering Welcome, where you had an opportunity to do just that. There are also opportunities to connect with staff in the faculty, to connect with different academics, industry members, as well as our student societies. So we rely heavily on groups such as WeSoc to do things like peer mentoring, industry mentoring, and social events. So I really do encourage you to take advantage of all of those opportunities that occur throughout your studies, particularly in your first year. If you do have any questions about kind of your degree, if you need a little bit of extra support, if you need some guidance about things to do with gender equity or anything that's related to that, you can also email us at the email on the screen. But particularly when it comes to the events, when it comes to things like coffee check-in chats, like workshops, like mentoring programs, All of that information is made available through our LinkedIn page. So this is a private group for women, non-binary, gender diverse engineering students and alumni. It's a great opportunity to connect with each other, to connect with those alumni, and also hear about the events, about scholarships, opportunities, and initiatives that are occurring. So I really do encourage you to scan that QR code and join. And if you ever need any support, please do come and find me or send me an email. And now I'd like to introduce my colleague from the Student Equity team, Tyson.
All right, hi everyone. Firstly, congratulations on taking the next step in your future. So I'm Tyson. I'm going to build off what Julian was just saying, and I'm from the Student Equity team. So at UNSW, we're really deeply passionate about equity, inclusion, and belonging, and we're here to deliver on UNSW's Progress for All strategy to create meaningful impact for every student. So this means we're working to build a culture that embraces fairness and support through strategic policies, initiatives, training programs, and events that are held throughout the year, and we strongly encourage you all to get involved and take part in these opportunities. So there are many events and initiatives you can engage with, including becoming an ally at UNSW, Diversity Festival, or the Sustainable Development Goals Showcase. These are just some examples of programs designed to raise awareness, celebrate different perspectives and experiences, and strengthen connection across campus. However, if you're deeply passionate about an initiative of your own, we encourage you to bring it to life, whether independently or through your student society. There are several funding opportunities available across campus to help support your ideas. So UNSW is also committed to ensuring that students from historically underrepresented groups have equitable access to university and improved educational outcomes. So students entering through the Gateway Admissions Pathway can access support through the First Year Academic Boost Program, and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students can also access dedicated Indigenous initiatives that provide tailored support. So if you entered UNSW through one of these pathways, be sure to check your emails for more information. So to finish, we strongly encourage you to get involved, meet new people, learn from those around you, and be a part of driving positive change at UNSW. I'm now going to introduce Kesh, who's from the Work Integrated Learning team. Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Oh, sorry. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Faculty of Engineering, and my name is Kesh from the Industrial Training Office. So basically, what is industrial training? Most of you would have heard probably terms like internship. You've got industrial experience, or you've got, what's the new one called? Professional practice is one of them that you probably would have heard. But at UNSW, it is called industrial training. So if you are in a Bachelor of Engineering honors program, it is a 60 working day requirement of your program. So you can do up to 3 placements for the 60 days, and it has to be relevant to your program of study, and it has to be supervised by a qualified engineer. So this is a simple plan for you. For year 1, you go and prepare, which basically asks you to go out and got to have a look at your employability skills, go through your resume, go through your CV with the employability team. And year 2, year 3, go out and self-source some placements, and then apply for approval. And then year 3 and year 4, you start to work and submit your final IT report. I just want to don't get too stressed right now. So what I would suggest you do is scan the QR code, attend these 3 workshops next term. So we have more information for you. So workshop 1 is basically industry panel and networking. So we invite industry representatives to come and give a talk, and you can actually network with those companies. Workshop 2 is basically we teach you the process on how to apply for your industrial training, and then get it approved, and you can start working. And workshop 3 is basically to go through how to find great industrial training, go through your LinkedIn profile, and how to go out and search for jobs. So later on, when you go out to your school welcomes, we have my colleagues will be there to answer more questions, and if you have any other industrial training related queries. So this is our QR code for our student portal. If you have access, please access and go through them. Stage 1, basically just to go through jobs board, how to go through and write a great resume and cover letter. And that's our email address. You can take it down, and if you have any queries, send us, and we will try to get them answered. Next, I'd like to invite Phoebe from ARC.
Hi guys, my name's Phoebe and I work for ARC, and because I work for ARC, your student organisation, that means that I work for you. Now before I dive into my presentation, I just wanted to get a quick show of hands. Who here has heard of ARC before? I think you guys might have beat Med and Health, which were so far leading, but that's really awesome. So most of you have heard of ARC. Now you guys are the credits. Now, who here has already joined up as an ARC member online? Okay, beating Med and Health again. You guys are the distinctions. Now, can I get a show of hands? Who here has added their ARC membership to their phone's digital wallet? Okay, fantastic. Okay, you guys are the high distinctions. Now, if you're anything less than a high distinction, don't worry, we'll get you caught up by the end of today. Now, ARC is about helping you grow as a whole person, not just a student. And sometimes that means stepping a little outside of your comfort zone. So I'd like to have a quick practice of this. Can you turn to the person next to you, find out where they're from, what they're studying, and something they like to do outside of their studies? Thank you. Thanks, guys. I'm glad that you've all made a new connection, and that's exactly what your university experience is about. Now, let me show you how ARC can help you make hundreds of more connections. The first thing to know about ARC is that we are your student organisation. We're run by students for students, and our mission is simple: to make the most of uni life, and, as was said before by our club's representative, to make your time at UNSW unforgettable. And that's why our tagline is, make the most of uni life. And that looks a little different to everyone here in this room. Maybe you're here to make lifelong friends, push yourself academically, give back to your community, or maybe just try something new. Whatever your version of making the most looks like, ARC is here to support you. And first up to do that, we now have actually over 400 different clubs on campus that you can join. Everything from Women in Engineering to Business Society if you're wanting to get into entrepreneurial, Exotic Beer Society, Nintendo Society, Pokemon Society, Cat Appreciation Society, Dog Appreciation Society. If I listed all of them, I would be here probably for hours. So whether you're into dance, debating, culture, sport, gaming, politics, or even just free food, you name it, we probably have it. When you join a club, but why should you join a club? Well, when you join a club, you get three things: fun, friends, or future. Maybe you're just doing it for the fun of trying something new and doing something that you love with the people that you love. Or maybe it's for future skills, and you're trying to build the skills, the networks, and the experience that will set you apart in your career. Sometimes you're lucky and you might get all three. Clubs are hands down the fastest way to find your people and feel at home here at UNSW. But we also run heaps of epic events. So ARC runs some of the biggest and best events on campus. Everything from O Week that you're experiencing now, to roundhouse parties, to Stress Less Week, where we bring actual alpacas onto campus for you to pat, and also therapy puppies that you can play around with. to open night mics, trivia, sport camps, and even speed friending and speed dating. These are moments where you'll find the people that you'll make memories with for the rest of your life and make the best uni memories. Just trust me. Then we have sport. Whether you're a professional athlete or you want to stay active and blow off some steam between classes, we've got you covered. Everything from social sport to sporting clubs to free gear hire and special fitness programs, including puppy yoga, which runs semi-weekly, because we all know that having a healthy body means supporting a healthy mind, especially during exam season. But if you want to give back, gain skills, and make friends, then volunteering is for you. We have over 30 different volunteering programs where you can give back, build real-world skills, and connect with communities both on and off of campus. Whether it's community garden and just gardening between your classes, helping students fix bikes, or maybe even volunteering for the Sydney Children's Hospital. It's flexible, rewarding, and it looks great on your resume too. And we also care deeply about your well-being. Because let's be real, university can be intense, and it's not always fun and games. Our student-led wellness programs cover everything from gratitude to stress management and respectful relationships and so much more. They're designed by students for students so that they actually get what you're going through and give you the practical tools that will work. But we're also here when times get a little tough. We have 2 full-time lawyers that help you with everything from tenancy issues, employment issues, visas, or academic advocacy. It's all completely free and confidential. Whatever you tell them won't be affecting your visa and won't get back to the university. We also have a financial counsellor who can help you plan your budgets for the term or even just figure out where you could be saving a little money. And we also have Food Hub, a free service on campus that gives you free grocery staples. They're located by GYG on Lower Campus, and I highly recommend you check them out. And honestly, that's just the start. Whether you're into bike repair, creative arts, supporting the Student Representative Council, or just grabbing free ice cream on campus, ARC is all about giving you a voice, a community, and a place to thrive while you're here at UNSW. So to help you join and get access to all those things that I've just told you about and millions of others, you can get out your phones and join ARC today. This is where all the credits and distinctions catch up. Fantastic. And keep your phones out because you can also join us on social media. Follow us on Instagram to find out where our puppies are on campus, where the cats are, find out where our free ice cream is, or even speed dating if you're looking for your special person. It's all there and more. And I think now we're moving on to Q&A.
Now's your chance to ask any questions you have. I've got my colleagues joining me. All right, we've got a whole ton of questions here. I'm going to start with the first one. So if you want to ask a question, just scan the QR code, or you can go to slido.com and use that hashtag. We're going to try and get through as many of these questions in the next 15 minutes, and then we'll send you off to your school welcomes. So the first one is, do we need to pay extra for makerspaces? So the short answer is no. The makerspace is open to everyone. Sometimes you may want to do some project on your own and you may need to pay a small cost for some of the materials, like on the 3D printers and so on. But a lot of it is free. So go down there, do the inductions, and away you go. How much space would a typical double degree have to fit a minor in? If there isn't much, can I do it anyway and just extend long I study. This one might be a little bit more specific to your particular program. So instead of answering this one directly, what I'm going to suggest is that you go to the nucleus and someone there will go through your particular degree program and will be able to provide you with some detailed advice. What is the best laptop for me to get? What specifications does it need to be? Great question. I'm from computer science and engineering, so I feel eminently qualified. I'd suggest, no, I'm not going to suggest anything. I think you'll be fine. Any sort of laptop will work. I use a Mac, but again, I'm not suggesting anything. I haven't been paid for any endorsements. Okay, next one. Alrighty. Everyone's getting technical advice on which laptop they should buy. If we miss a lecture in person and online, is it recorded for us to view later? If so, how long does it stay up for? Great question. Yes, lectures are generally recorded. They're usually available all term, probably even a bit longer, but they are recorded and they're there for quite some time. All right, how does exchange work for terms if UNSW runs on a 3-trimester term system while the other uni runs on a 2-semester system? Yeah, that's a great question. When we did go to the 3-term system, one of the things we tried to do was align with North America and Europe in particular, but you will find that there, again, this is probably a place where you can go to the nucleus and get some advice, just in case there is a bit of a intersection with the terms and the semesters overseas. What if DESN 1000 is full? Well, DESN 1000 shouldn't be full. You can put in a full class request. Now, in a lot of the study programs, I find that they recommend that you do DESN 1000 in term 1, but in most cases, you can probably do DESN 1000 in term 3 as well, and you might want to consider that option. So don't freak out too much if you're trying to get into DESN 1000 and it's full. Actually, this might be good. When I get back to my desk, I'm going to check this one out. What is the difference between pass-fail courses and courses that go towards WAM? All right, great question. Pass-fail courses don't contribute to you. This might not be, some people might not understand this terminology, but a pass-fail course, you either pass or you fail. That does not contribute to your WAM, which is your weighted average mark. What does that affect? So on the one hand, it doesn't affect your WAM. It could have some factors later for scholarships and so on. But again, this is where you might want to go to the nucleus to get a little bit more advice if you're worried about what that means towards your WAM. But the short of it is that it doesn't contribute to your WAM. At what point do you choose a minor and how do you do that? You can do that at quite a number of stages during your program. You can do it before you take the minor, you can do it while you're in the minor, you can do it when you pretty much finish the minor too. And again, nucleus is probably a good place to get some advice there. Okay, I'm going to jump down to common mistakes, misconceptions about engineering that first year often has career and work learn wise. Now, I don't know, I was going to throw to our students who may not have full-blown careers just yet, but looking towards it. But maybe, Sai, Alex, you might have some advice that you'd like to give our students.
Yeah, probably I can go first. Common mistakes and misconceptions. I think I will answer. Sorry.
I was just going to say, maybe you might think about what it was like when you were
yeah.
and then what changed.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Now that you're sitting here.
Yeah, so I think it's just in terms of, maybe I would go off with the workload-wise first, because when I first came in, of course, like, in my head, I was like, I just need to get my high distinctions and get the highest WAM possible. Like, that was the mindset that I came in with. And I think that just made my workload, which could have been much more simpler, I just kind of overloaded it in myself because I came with a thing where I have to. And if I don't, that means I'm a failure or like I'm not going to do well. But I think workload-wise, honestly, it is very, very manageable. even if you want to get those high distinctions, you don't have to stress about it so much. As long as you're consistent and you take it one step at a time, do not punish yourself if you don't do well, especially in the first few terms, because you're adjusting and you're figuring things out. So, of course, I feel like the common misconception is like, guys, uni is going to be difficult, and if you want to get the high distinction, you have to work extremely hard. Yes, you have to work hard, but consistency is key. But enjoy at the same time. In my first year, that's the mistake I made. I stressed out so much just studying. I didn't even get the HDs. But in my second year onwards, I joined societies, I had fun, I enjoyed the process, and I made those connections, the seniors, the resources, and that's when it just kind of helped me do a lot better.
That's great advice.
Yeah, and just building off Sai's point about getting HDs, I know a common misconception that I had in first year was that HD equals to good career, or you're more employable if you get HDs. That is the case sometimes, but it's not always the case. You can be employable, you can do well at uni in many different ways. For example, your practical and small projects on the side. For my engineers and also especially computer science majors, that's a big thing. Your projects on the side make you more employable, but also your extracurriculars. So the societies that you do, the projects that you build in those societies also help you become more employable as well. I would also say that, just lost my thought, but
That's okay.
yeah, if I think of it, I'll say it in the next question.
No worries.
Yeah.
Hey, there's tons of really good questions. We're not going to get to all of them, but one that I would like to get to next is, Julene, what type of women in engineering events happen?
Yeah, so our regular events that happen every term include our coffee check-in chats. So they occur at Plume, and it's a great opportunity to grab a free coffee, have some snacks, meet with faculty, staff, and with your fellow peers. And then we also do ad hoc events throughout the year. So that includes things like International Women's Day workshops. It includes things like mentoring that's up and coming. So the best advice is to just keep checking that LinkedIn page. That's where all the most up-to-date information will be.
Brilliant. Okay, Cash, what advice would you give when approaching industrial training as part of my course?
As part of?
My course.
So I would first say, if you have an approved industrial training placement, it doesn't necessarily that you have to finish a placement within the first 3 months. You can take up a part-time casual role and do it over 2 years to complete 60 working days. So you don't have to finish everything in one term or one semester to go forward. So you can find a company that offers you a 2-year contract, and you can complete the first 60 working days. But remember, you have to put in the application to get it approved before you start working. If not, we will not count the days that you have worked.
Here's a great question for you. Do students get paid when taking industrial training? And if so, how much?
So what we want you to go out, because all placements are self-sourced, so you have to go out and do the hard work. We always encourage you to go and find paid placement. Most of the companies do offer paid placements, and some of them, as you are first year engineering or second year engineering students, they start off with minimum wage. But always check with Fair Work if they are paying you minimum wage. If not, you have to speak to the HR or the HR team at the company.
Can I do work integrated learning in my home country?
Yes. So if you want to find an overseas placement, you can do an overseas placement. There's more information on the portal, but you have to still try, and you still have to put in for an approval to get it approved to do your placements overseas. Some countries are high risk, so we have to make sure that you are safe and you're looked after because you are still a current student in UNSW.
Alex, what activities are at the ENGSOC camp?
Amazing, yeah. So the ENGSOC camp, we go up to the Blue Mountains this year. We do a bunch of activities during the day so you can bond closer with your camp group. So during day 2, we'll do an amazing race. That's like a bunch of different activities, for example, like relay race, or we'll also do some water activities as well. So we did a kind of free-for-all water balloon fight last year as well. But every year we're always listening to like student feedback. We're always thinking of like what events can best engage the students over first year camp. So we're definitely doing more events on top of that. That's just what I did last year for first year camp. Other than that, yeah, that's basically the activities that we do. And just, I remembered what I was going to say for the misconceptions as well from last year. Another big misconception that people have in first year is that they do the course to get a high grade. So for example, they learn the course, especially maths, especially your computer science course, just to get a HD and they think that's it. But first year, the most important part of these courses is to build up the fundamentals and the understanding so that you can do well in your second year and third year courses. Something that I found this year, because I was just focusing on the grade, honestly, was that I'm struggling with these second year courses because I have to relearn first year courses. So take the time, even if it means that you get a lower grade, to truly understand what you're learning in these courses.
Brilliant. Okay, how are high achievers in engineering recognised? Well, firstly, there's Dean's List and Dean's Awards for the top students, that's one. But a lot of the schools also have prizes and awards that are often sponsored by industry. So there's a whole bunch of things to recognise high achievers. They're all deleted, but hang on, there was one last question there was one question I thought I wanted to answer. I've got to say, most of the questions that we didn't get to, I think could easily be answered by the nucleus, because a lot of them have to do with your degree programs. So if you have a question that hasn't been answered, we'll be here for a little bit. We're going to, you can go and ask the nucleus and so on. But there's, as I said before, there's a lot of help out there. Sorry, I was just trying to think of the one question.
If you have any questions about industrial training, during a school welcome, my colleagues will be there as well after the school welcome to answer your questions.
Yeah, and there's afternoon tea. There will be people there from schools and so on as well. All right, look, thank you for being here. You've all been amazing. What's going to happen next is, as you exit the lecture theatre, there'll be some student ambassadors there. Just try and find the student ambassador for your school, and that student ambassador will take you down to your school.